there is no job that is beneath me, minus maybe suck. Yeah. But if I got to do that, Papa got to make some money.
Yeah. Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. If you want to suck that dick. I think everybody's journey in life is to figure out what works for them. What I do might be easier for me in terms of skill wise. It doesn't mean that you can do it. What you do, I cannot do, right? One of the things that I really dislike when somebody tells me about what they do is when they compare it to what I do, right? They'll always say this, oh, I'm not doing what you're doing. If you say that to me, I immediately hate you. I don't like that shit. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the final episodes of the Genius Brain podcast. And if you guys saw the video before, you guys definitely helped us out with a lot of topics. And I know it's a sad thing to hear for a lot of people, but it doesn't mean the podcast is ending per se. The concept is changing, right? To go a little bit more in depth into that, had a conversation, not just with myself and also with the team. It was just kind of like, I don't want to say like the podcast was dead, right? But I have a lot on my plate. I have 3 podcasts. Yeah. And then, when Genius Brain started years ago, it was really just a way for me to like kick it and talk to my friends and then also, make a business out of it, right? And it kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. But I feel like my creativity has kind of died a lot, right? Because I'm kind of just clocking into work. Right. And it happens a lot with creatives, especially when you start making money off of something, right? You're kind of scared to do things outside of what is creating revenue for you. Yeah. Because it becomes very, very comfortable, right? And I'm going to deep dive into that concept on another episode because somebody asked a question pertaining to that. But long story short with that is just like I kind of miss flexing my creative muscle. And this happened when the other day I did a video where I reviewed my very first video ever, which was the, right? And that was really fun to do. That fucking video took me way too long.
The Asians in the library.
Yeah. Where it's just like me reacting and creating jokes and sketches in between. And the writing process for that and then just talking took me way longer than it should have because, habits are formed through repetition and practice. I haven't done that in years. Yeah. And I was like, holy crap, I can't create. I can't.
That's a scary feeling.
It's super scary because it's something that I want to say it's a part of my identity, but I enjoy it a lot. You know what I mean? And then to lose that skill, maybe freak out a little bit. It's like, wait, why can't you do this? And then, I was talking to a buddy of mine. His name was Eric. He's an artist. It was over a wedding, and I asked him simply because he's an amazing artist, by the way, in terms of like drawing, painting, and stuff. And then I asked him like, oh, I've always wanted to like paint and draw. Like, how come? I was like, how did you find your style? How did you get that? He goes, it's repetition every day. And I was like, oh shit. Like I haven't done this in years. And it just connected to the fact that I haven't been doing something that was such muscle memory for me. Without fail, every day on a Sunday, I would create something, create. Even if I felt like I didn't have anything. And there were moments when I was doing like these weekly vlogs where Monday I would start the thinking process. I would get nothing. Yeah. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, nothing. Friday, nothing. Saturday, something would hit. I would create, shoot, write it, and I would upload it. But that whole pain of like creating and going through these like moments of like, I have nothing is something that was a process that I've avoided for so long. I'm not used to that discomfort anymore. Yeah. Right. So when I was creating this stuff, I was like, oh, I don't really have it anymore was the first conversation. But then I remembered it's like, number 1, you're out of practice. And number 2, this is how you felt when you were creating in the first place. Like you just have these moments. Not everything is supposed to click like that. And it's been kind of uncomfortable. Yeah. It's super uncomfortable and I don't like it because podcasting, I could come up here, I have X amount of life experience, I have another host to talk to, we could just bounce off ideas and we'll find something, right? But to sit there and create a story from point A, B to C is a completely different process. Yeah. And that shit was fucking me up.
That's what happened to me in editing because like I have a hard time putting together even something like a music video. It was so tough. When it's just shots and there's all the lip syncing and that's done. But for some reason, I couldn't get through the shot selections and I just felt like this looked like shit. And it was like, I was running a gas station for 5 years, So I had to get some help with it too, And I felt that way. It gives me panic attacks and whatnot.
It makes you feel useless.
Yeah.
It's like you've accumulated all this time in your life to develop this skill. And then overnight, it felt like it disappeared.
You're like, what happened to me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like you feel so useless now.
And did you also feel, or maybe we'll just use this episode to talk about this, but did you also feel that like you couldn't make choices?
Yeah.
I think that was the part that threw me off, specifically when it came to coloring. Like I tried to color the footage and I just didn't like anything and I couldn't make a choice, right? Whether it was for tone, mood, what I'm trying to express, and I would just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, I don't even have the confidence to make a choice on coloring this very simple fucking video.
Yeah.
And it was fucking up with my confidence a lot.
Oh yeah. My confidence died in editing a lot. And speaking of making a choice, because I was doing more studio format, because, you know, when we were young, we were run and gun, and a lot of like what was coming up in the edit like was spontaneous in a sense, where, you know, you can make editing changes and be creative with how the story unfolds. But then with like product videos and commercials, there's a script, there's PowerPoints, there's shot for shot how they want it kind of thing. And
it's very specific.
Very specific. And then it gets sent off to another person who's going to color it and all that. So I didn't color for years.
Yeah.
And so now I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they have, like, what I also realized too is, you know, obviously way early on, but when you're on YouTube, you have to be kind of a jack of all trades, right?
Yeah.
You are doing everything that usually people split up into departments, right? And you're doing it on a very small scale. For example, coloring. There is a colorist. There are people who literally just color.
Yeah.
They do nothing else.
They have the whole hardware thing with the jog wheels and not just for coloring. Yeah.
If you guys are trying to get into this space, when you're a YouTuber, you have to do it all. But when you go into bigger productions, there's literally somebody that just waits for the cut and they only color. They don't cut the footage. They don't rearrange shit. They simply color. That's it. You have a gaffer. He just does the lighting, right? The DP has a vision. He lights it. The DP and him have a conversation about how it should be lit. What's the mood? What's the tone that is set, right? And these are like things that are developed, once again, through choices and confidence. And because I haven't developed this habit over time, I just kind of let it go. And so the question that somebody asked too was just like, it's like, how do you shift from doing something that's very comfortable into doing things that you want to do, right? Because career shifts are very hard. And I think this was also pertaining to you because you have gone through multiple career shifts as well. And it kind of pertains to this podcast of me taking out Genius Brain and doing something new. Like, is there a fear behind it? What makes you pull the trigger? And how do you get to that point where you make bold decisions?
The first thing was, like, I'm not better than my job.
Yeah.
Right? So when I went from LA doing YouTube, making videos, having fun with everyone, and then going to the bumfuck middle of nowhere at a gas station, and nobody fucking knows what I've done or whatever, and I have to kill my ego. Like, I'm not someone special, right? But there was another part where I was more having to accept my position, was that people would be, there'd just be some fucking haters.
Yeah.
Like, people would come in the store and just start talking shit to me for some reason. And just be like, look at you, you loser. This is your job, you know, and you just work as a clerk at a gas station.
We own this.
Yeah. So when I say that, I say, I own this store. And then they're like, bullshit, fuck you, motherfucker. And I'm like, okay, so there's other miserable people who have to shit on somebody in a position like I am in. Yeah. Right? And so I had to...
I own the store. Impossible.
Yeah, it would always be like that. You're fucking bullshitting me.
What do you mean, man? You've never seen a fucking Asian person own a business? Yeah. That's all we do.
Yeah, and that was when I was living in a fucking trailer home behind the gas station.
I own that trailer too.
See that
Bullshit!
Trailer? Yeah.
I've never had one myself.
Yeah. I live in that trailer home, and I wake up in the morning, open the store, and then I take shifts with my mom sometimes, or I'll be there all fucking 15 hours of the day, close the store and go behind and just fucking
You know what's so funny about this like story is that they're calling you a liar as if this is some grand life that you can't afford. They're like,
and I'm like, I don't even want to be here.
They're like, you're telling me that you own a trailer behind the store? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, my shit's on wheels, dude.
you think you're better than me? It's like, no, that's not
like,
what I'm saying.
And then you learn, no, there's people who would kill to live in a fifth wheel.
Yeah.
Because other people are like, oh, that's a nice fifth. Yeah, mine's because they also live in one.
It's like you're confused about what they're jealous about. It's like, are you jealous?
So the other thing was like, I'm not better than this gas station. This gas station is feeding me and giving me shelter. Yeah. Quite literally.
Yeah. You know, that's a good point to bring up. It's like the ego death thing, right?
Yeah.
I think if for me, well, let me put it in this context, right? One of the things that I really dislike when somebody tells me about what they do is when they compare it to what I do, right?
Right.
They'll always say this, oh, I'm not doing what you're doing. If you say that to me, I immediately hate you. I don't like that shit, right?
Yeah.
Because just like Ed said, I'm not doing anything special, right? I think everybody's journey in life is to figure out what works for them. What I do might be easier for me in terms of skill wise. It doesn't mean that you can do it. What you do, I cannot do, right? So there is this like weird thing that people have where they kind of idolize certain careers and jobs, which I understand. Like we're talking about medical profession, people who say, okay, those, right? But what do I do really, right? I was given this gift of being able to gab, right? That might have been because of personal trauma. Yeah. My dad whooping my ass, growing up poor, whatever that it was, those circumstances have led me to have these skills, right? But it doesn't make what I do particularly special. And I talk about this in terms of acting too. And a lot of actors, like I said, I talked about this in a previous video, hate it when I say this. It's like, I'm an actor. Cool.
You play pretend for a living.
So why, and they, we put these people on a pedestal. Right? Like, oh, these people are so amazing at what they do. Well, guess what? You are amazing at what you do too, right? It's your job. It's just a matter of if you take pride in it or not. And if you don't like the job that you have, then you have to change it. And so when it comes to me and changing and pivoting the things that I do in terms of this page, it's simply I base it on what do I enjoy and what do I want to do. There have been so many times on YouTube and in this space where I could have gone a path where it made me exponentially more money, right? Could have got me exponentially more views. But at the end of the day, I have to wake up with my choices, right? You don't think I could have done some fucking pranks?
Yeah. You don't like it, but you'd kill your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to wake up every day knowing that I looked like a stupid bitch, and I did it for $1. And I think for the youth, and you're seeing this a lot in streaming and all these crazy people screaming in the camera, just fucking people up. It's simply because they love the recognition, right?
Right.
I appreciate the recognition. I don't need it to feel value in my life or for it to affect my career choices. Because if you look at it from that aspect, it's like, I like the idea of creating freely. So if I can't have that, you can have that stripped away even when you do social media, because now my moves are now dictated by views and what everybody else wants me to do. So I have a boss, right? I've created an office job that wasn't supposed to be an office job. So when I create these career shifts, I simply think, number one, what can I do that I want to live with? And does it make me happy, right? And I also think about the financial side too, but the core thing of what I think about when I make career shifts or when I have to make these big changes, it can't always be the fear aspect, right? And for me right now, it's a little easier because I have saved up money. So even if it doesn't go well, I have a bit of a backup plan. It doesn't mean that it's not scary though. I have a mortgage, I have a wife, I have a kid. So I have to be a little smarter about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I can't keep going through life with my what ifs, right? And I think for you too, I think people are very curious because you went from going into video to doing car work, right?
Yeah.
And I think public perception, will have to go to tag onto what you were talking about. When I think about that is have you ever had that thought of people think I'm going backwards?
Sure. I I'm sure people already thought about that when I went to a gas station, and I've already
like,
I don't
forget the gas station guy. This is for.
Yeah, so I don't really care, right? Especially what other people think, because there's such a big spectrum of what people think of what I do.
And it doesn't matter what you do, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I do. But then, am I enjoying what I do? Yeah. Do I still also get insecure about what I do? Yeah, because of like the amount of knowledge it takes to know in a car. But you know me and the kind of knowledge I retain. I have so much useless knowledge in my head, right?
Yeah.
But like it could be baseball statistics and like random movie trivia, da da da. Not that that's completely useless for me, but like I look at what I'm doing, like I can retain so much knowledge in this field. I have to be confident in myself. Be like I can be just as good as my instructor. I can be just as good as a master tech if I work it. I know I can, right? The confidence comes from just, I guess, growing older and be like, hey, I'm smarter than what people said I was.
Yeah.
My whole life, everyone said I was too dumb.
Yeah.
And then my parents set me up to just run the gas station.
Because they bottleneck your ability.
Yeah.
Right? They said, this is where, as far as you can go, so this is where you'll stay.
Yeah. And at the same time, like, look at what AI is doing in video already.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I don't know. I feel like I don't have to, I don't want to compete with that.
Yeah.
Especially if that's the future, especially if there's so many people who can't fucking tell what's AI or not.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's like, I don't even want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Because, sooner or later, like a lot of people are going to be out of work because of AI. But you know what? A robot can't fix a car yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But at this end, people are going to have their gas-powered cars for a long time still. And if that's over, like there's still a whole classic scene, right? And yeah, for me, it's doing blue-collar work, just not a bad deal for me. And having to deal with like clients in the creative space, you realize it's these people don't have the skill to do what you do, but they have the money, and so they want you to do it, right?
Yeah.
And then they tell you how they want it, and it's fucking ass. Mm-hmm. Even though you did something great, they want you to change it. That kills me inside. And I had to, and that died. That part of me died where I was just like, okay, I'm just doing what the client says, no matter if it looks bad or not. I had to stop caring about the quality of my work, which killed me inside. Well, with like being a mechanic, you can't be creative about how you do something unless you're building a custom car.
How'd you change my tires? Oh, I blindfolded myself today.
There are specs.
Yeah.
There's just by the book the way you got to do it, and you can't argue with me about it. Yeah. This is how it's done. I think like that's an important thing to bring up too with this question too, where sometimes a lot of you out there need everything laid out perfectly before you start something, right? Where they go, well, if I start this and then 5 years down the line, I realize that it's not for me. I wasted 5 years. You didn't waste 5 years. Yeah.
Those 5 years are 5 years of experience that took you to get to where you need to be now. If you didn't it's not even a mistake. If you didn't try this, you would have never gotten to the other part where you realize this wasn't for me. Because then you end up just staying in the same place.
Right. Go back to that, like the past World Series, like watching it with a group of like 6 people, everyone's asking me, what's going on?
Yeah.
Right? Because I love baseball, and it's not totally useless at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? And then let's say this podcast, thankfully, where we were talking about films and movies. All those years of doing all of that, film work or just commercial work, or my personal movie collection that I have. Like some people might say, "Wow, what a waste of money!" Like discs, DVDs and Blu-rays. Like what a waste of money. But then also no, like I studied this shit. This is my library. Like I'll watch it again and again. And because of podcasting, it's not totally a waste at the end of the day. Yeah. Right. And so, there's a handful of gratitude that you have to seek. Right. And there's also, I didn't waste my time. I don't feel like, I wasted my 20s in a sense. But like I've had to deal with that because I was blaming other people for my failures too. Yeah. And I have to swallow the pill, of like, I had a hand in my failure too.
Yeah.
But between personal responsibility and whatever, like really I'm doing what I feel like is a sound judgment for me. I feel like it's a great direction of where I'm going to, and I feel secure in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it by the end of the day. The Cosby Show actor director who died,
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah, he went viral for a sec. I don't know if it was him. Maybe it was someone else. Someone went viral for a sec because somebody on social media was like, "Oh my gosh, look at this guy. He used to be on this TV show, but now he's bagging groceries."
Oh, not Malcolm Jamal Warner. That was actually, I think in the show her name was Vanessa. It was her husband. What's his name? He was working at a Trader Joe's.
Yes, Trader Joe's. And then he had to quit because of how viral it went, right? And then they finally got to interview him.
He's still alive
later.
too, by the way.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
And he was saying the same thing. I'm not better than Trader Joe's. This is a job. You know, a job is a job, whether I was acting or I'm bagging groceries. Like, I'm not better than your work.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a big thing, maybe because of this age with influencing. It's so scary when you see like, you ask middle schoolers what they want to be when they grow up. Influencer.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you going to influence you if you
have nothing?
Nothing, right?
That's the other thing too, right? And it goes back to where we were talking about the whole life experience where people feel like time is wasted, right? When you, like people who want to start podcasts, right? I see it all the time. They go, I want to do a podcast. I'm like, cool. What have you done? what have you lived? There's no way I would have been able to do. I mean, obviously, if you're doing a podcast about current topics and you're just saying your thoughts and ideas, it's possible, right? Mm-hmm. But without life experience, without being able to go through these things, we don't have much to talk about, right? Yeah. But they want to go into this like space of like, oh, I want to be influence what? What are you talking about? Like you want to be in this space because you see what a life that people live that they don't even live themselves. I'm not saying that as a cliche thing. I'm telling you 1,000,000 times over. How many fucking times can I tell you? I've met these people. They're so poor, it's unreal.
And look at how much content is just copycat content.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a fucking clue of how to be creative in their shit.
They're not creative at all.
Yeah.
And sometimes people get offended by that. They're like, what do you mean? Well, that's why I have millions of followers. Yeah, stolen ideas. None of these ideas are your own. If I said that you can only create on your page and you can't look at other people's stuff, can you do it? Let's see if you can, right? And look, for those people who are just doing it for fun, who the fuck cares? I'm talking about people who want to enter the conversation of being a creator and say like, oh, dude, I'm an artist. You're not. You're a thief. You cannot create. Dude, I've heard so many stories from other people who are filmmakers, whatever, and they're forced to work with these like Instagram people or whatever, whatnot. They get so mad, not because their Instagram personalities, number one, they're unprofessional, they're talentless and they're skillless.
Yeah.
But because they have a following, they have to work with them. And it's the most difficult thing that they have to do.
Yeah.
Right? I get it. You guys want to be famous. Cool. There's a lot of things that come with that, right? But fame can come and go instantly. I've been able to stay on this space for a very long time. Maybe it's because I have been able to change my careers 1,000,000 times over, right? Like I never want to get bored with the things that I do. I.e. probably the reason why we're going to end Genius Brain. And not so much like end Genius Brain. And I've thought about this too. It's like we could still do Genius Brain. It just won't be on Spotify.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll just upload it to YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But contractually speaking, if I have to do a new podcast, I need to freshen it up. Also for the ad side too. And also just for my creativity bit. But if I want, I could just do Genius Brain randomly out of fucking nowhere and just record like 4 episodes.
You made it work for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You don't just jump into a space and be like, all right, like, you know, just do what everyone else does.
Yeah.
You know, you created your parameters for yourself. Yeah.
And look, it's, to go back on topic, is it difficult and hard to make career shifts? Yeah. It's fucking scary. Let me give you a great example of that. Years ago, for those of you who have listened to me for a very long time, guys, remember I was one of the main cast members and probably the onset of the creation of Jknews, right? Yeah. That started from a bunch of friends hanging out in a parking lot. Loitering outside of a fucking sushi buffet out in Vegas. And we would just talk there for hours. And it would just be some of the most fun, stupid conversations. And from that, we just went, why don't we just record this shit?
Yeah.
Right? Why don't we just do that? And it ended up being something a lot bigger than we expected. I was a part of that for the longest time, and it was very good money. I left when I was getting paid because I got very complacent, right? Super complacent. I was like, I come into Jknews, we shoot maybe twice a month. We walk away with a good check. That's everybody. Everybody walked away with good, despite what one Scrum employee said. And she got paid way better than all of us. But either way, we worked like twice a month.
Yeah.
And then we walked away. And it was very fun. I got to hang out with my friends, but I became very complacent. I wasn't creating anything new. I wasn't challenging myself. And I made the executive decision to be like, I have to cut this umbilical cord. I have to do it. That shit was fucking hard.
Right.
It was fucking hard. Because number one, financially it was difficult. And number two, I think emotionally it was difficult. It became such a huge part of my identity, right? Jknews was synonymous with myself. And I started to realize I started losing my personal brand to this company. And when I decided to cut it out, I had to make choices.
Because everyone kept calling you David So from
Jknews. And I was like, oh shit.
You have your own fucking, YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
But you're David from Jknews.
Exactly. And I said, hey, I wanted to go into film and acting. I can't do it with this. It's not going to happen. And that's when I made the leap and I started going into film and we did Gook. If I didn't leave Jknews, I would have never done that film.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been possible. I would have been very, very complacent. It's like, dude, why would I do this film? Like, it takes up too much of my time. I'm not going to make money from it. So taking those chances and risks led me to this opportunity, right? And that opportunity led me into acting, which turns out I don't really like acting that much. I love acting. I don't like Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would have never known that if I didn't cut this umbilical cord first for me to get to this point.
Right.
Right? Now, I'm not auditioning anymore. Right? If there are roles that come my way, I see if I like it. If I don't audition for it. But when I do it because I enjoy it. But once again, some people can say, well, you did all this time, you did this Sundance film, you did all these auditions, these meetings, and you still decide not to do it. What a waste of your time. No, it's not.
A waste of your time is coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Exactly. That's the biggest point. Coulda, woulda, shoulda is because it becomes cyclical. You just keep circling around this bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? But you have to kind of break free of that. You have to kind of fail forward. And I think that's the fear that everybody has. You hate feeling bad, but in your discomfort is where you grow the most, right? And I hate it too. You guys act like it's so easy for us. It's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. I hate it, dude. You don't think that little thought in the back of my stupid fucking head pops up? What will people think?
Yeah.
Right? It's there, just like for you guys, but mine is just this big. Yours lives in your head this big. Mine is this small. It's still there, right? And I've thought about this too. It's like, okay, let's just say tomorrow everything disappears and I had to work. What would I do? I was like, I'd probably go get a job at a restaurant, try to be a waiter, apply somewhere. And
Especially because that's one of the, you told me before, like you've actually wanted to try
I wanted to try it,
Yeah.
you know? I wanted to try doing service industry stuff. And they're like, oh. And then having this conversation with another friend of mine, because he just brought it up. He goes, wouldn't it feel weird if you're like serving a team? Aren't you David So? I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? Because if I sit there and I feel shame about it, I'm shitting on my other coworkers. I'm shitting on other people in the industry saying like, oh, this is beneath all of us.
Yeah.
And there is no such thing as a job that is beneath me. We grew up so fucking poor. There is no job that is beneath me, minus maybe sucking dick. Yeah. But if I got to do that, Papa got to make some money.
Yeah.
But minus things that
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. If you want to suck that dick, make it happen.
Don't live the rest of your life when you're 80 years old like, man, I could have sucked dick.
There's like a Korean kid that comes into his parents. Yeah. Oma, so I listen to David So. I always want to quote you in my mouth. And he said, I never live a life with no dream.
Yeah.
No. But it would have, if I say that, that means I am better than everybody else around me. And I've been taught my whole life, and I am not above a working job.
Yeah.
If there is a lifestyle that you enjoy, and that's why when I hear some of these influencers, they go like, everybody's a CEO. No, you're not. Being a CEO fucking sucks. For anybody out there that cares about their personal life, family life, and they put personal relationships and social living above just making money, you would hate being a CEO. You would hate being a boss. One of the hardest things for me right now is I'm also a business owner, but I'm a creative. It fucking kills me sometimes, right?
Right.
But creating a business also has creativity, so that's fun as well. So that's the thing that kind of keeps me attached to it. So no, not everybody is made to be a boss. Not everybody is made to be a CEO, which means that you shouldn't look down on what other people do, because that's their life choice. If they want to work a job that doesn't make a lot of money, but they enjoy what they do, they enjoy their life that they have, they can make ends meet, they can have food on their table, a roof over their head, who the fuck cares? We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
You don't get to take any of this shit with you.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters in your life is what you do personally, how you get to sleep at night, and the personal choices that you make that affect the immediate circle around you. Everything else, go fuck off. I don't care.
It's like, if I have friends who, bought their first home in their late 20s and stuff, and it was like, congratulations back then.
Yeah.
And now it's like you're still paying them. What's so special about that, right? What's so special about that car? What's so special about your status in life or whatever? Like, you still have to lay your head in your pillow and think about all the shit you did.
Yeah.
It's
the same
everybody
shit.
sleeps the same way, and everyone's got to debrief who they are or whatever in the same way. Like, I see people with like control issues are the reason why they want to be managers and CEOs or whatever, right? Rather than, actual leadership.
Yeah.
People who actually want to guide people. Like, when I was a senior editor, I think my favorite part of the job was teaching like Premiere Pro and After Effects to all the other editors and raising up their game and being like, now you can argue for a higher salary, dude.
Yeah.
You learn so much here, That actually gives me a lot of fulfillment in life. But then we also work in an industry where it's like for some reason it's a trade secret.
Yeah.
There's that kind of stuff too.
Oh, people like to pull other people down. Right?
Yeah.
They don't want to see somebody do better than them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So for you guys out there, hopefully that answers your question about like making career change and shifts. It's like you just live with your own choices, right? When you go to sleep at night, do you feel fulfilled and satisfied, right? And that fulfillment depends on what you value. If money is something that you value and financial comfort is something that you put above everything else, stress, whatever, then that's the route you should go, right? I don't make judgments about what you care about. I only talk about what I care about, right? If I was somebody that I want the nicest watches, the nicest cars, because I'm a fucking D-bag and I love living like that, so be it.
So like, there's another thing where while I was young, I would tie my identity to my work, right? And then I think later, I was starting to get really annoyed with it because, I did a lot of parachurch ministry. So I'd be in Tacoma, 45 minutes up, I'd be in Seattle. And so, I was in both spots. And then what I was realizing was that everyone in Tacoma was calling me that worship leader, that youth group leader at that church. And then everyone in Seattle was like, oh, he's the video guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how people know me. And I'm like, man, I'm so much more than that, though.
Yeah.
I'm not just this guy, this person, And some people actually feel that way. I'm this. I'm a blah, 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 right? And I was...
That pride.
Yeah, but I was more or less like, nah, I think I'm way more interesting than that.
Yeah.
I
mean, at least you weren't this guy named Danny at church. We just called him the closeted gay dude. I was going to say, hey, Danny, right? Oh, the gay guy. It's like, this guy Danny was so funny. He would argue, he goes, I'm not gay. It's like,
you just said that
Danny.
so zesty.
Yeah. First of all, nobody calls you Danny but yourself. We call you Daniel.
Yeah.
You gay, bro.
Yeah.
Full's flaming. Like if he touched one of the fucking wooden pews, it would just light on fire because he's flaming. Like, bro, relax. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I hope that helps answer some of your questions about making the bold move to shift or change things a part of your life. We could obviously expound on this for so many more episodes. This is just a little thing about it, but we're going to wrap that up here. Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. until it ends. You can catch Ed at Ed Park VP and Manga Miata, and be at David So Comedy. We'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.